in with the questions.
Yeah. I'll put it on mute so I don't.
Okay, we're all ready to go. Okay, hello everybody. Brian here, for quantlabsnet.com in the back of my conservatory, that's all virtual. Just by the way, I'm sure you know. So we're here with Jeremy. Jeremy, welcome. I haven't done a video interview in a long time. Let's get started on this. As you know, I'm very curious on your background and what you do. I know you're obviously in UK, so why don't you introduce yourself to our audience and let us know your background? That'd be great.
Brilliant. So thank you, and thank you for inviting me, Brian.
No
We've
problem.
been following your activities for a long time now.
Well, thanks,
We've
man.
only just sort of joined. I don't know why it took so long for us to join, actually. So my mistake, Brian. I advance
It's no
apologies.
problem.
But anyway, my name's Jeremy Sosabowski. I'm one of the partners, co-founders at a company called AlgoDynamix. AlgoDynamix, and in sort of introductory terms, it's price forecasting. So Brian, that sort of $1 billion pound question: is the price going to go up? Is the price going to go down? And we're providing a decent amount of clarity on that one. I'll probably delve a bit deeper, but just in terms of intro. So it's a price forecasting company. We sell the software, we sell the analytics, and we also co-launch hedge funds. So it's a sort of a two-pronged business. So I think we'll talk about that one.
Because you mentioned that obviously you set up crypto funds international. I remember you told me your regions. You want to cover those regions where you have live clientele, where you set up for your clientele?
Yeah, absolutely. So crypto, equities, commodities, multi-asset, whatever it is, we're agnostic. So I think it's potentially even more exciting because selling software is great, but I think co-launching new funds, new hedge funds with partners is probably even more exciting. So we have a global coverage from Hong Kong, UK, US. I've probably missed a few actually. Dubai is a bit quiet. So Brian, wherever there's a wealth center, wherever there's a sort of high net worth customer base, small family offices, hedge fund, we tend to have a sort of presence there. So I think we will that one. So I'll just go through them briefly. Crypto fund, actually crypto and equity fund in Hong Kong. One in the UK, which I cannot talk about, unfortunately, for regulatory purposes, but we have a crypto fund in the UK, if you want to Google that one. One in Texas, that's going well. One in California, and a few more on the way. But that's probably the ones I can talk about. So a sort of combination of global crypto funds.
And how, I mean, obviously you put a lot of future into crypto. Like what's your current view right now of crypto and how it's performed this year versus the peak of crypto? I mean, obviously the states are bringing in a lot. I mean, I've been reading a lot of regulation or new regulation of bringing in for stable coins. I don't know if you saw the story yesterday. It came out with Wyoming is going to have its own crypto stable coin as well, WY. I mean, what's your fascination with that? I mean, like, do you think the future will be put on crypto right now, the way, especially a stable coin?
Wow. Okay. Good questions, Brian. I like these. I absolutely love this, actually. Hot topic. Short answer is I don't know, and it's a bit of a sort of Weasley answer. I'm not giving you that one. I'm generally very very bullish, very optimistic. I'll just mention this about crypto and stablecoins. By the way, let's exclude CBDCs. I'm generally quite bullish. Keep in mind that we're probably leading quite a relatively comfortable lifestyle. So for crypto, us it's okay, it's nice to have, but a lot of parts of the world they don't have the luxury of a functioning central bank. They probably have hyperinflation. So keep in mind, it's a necessity in some parts of the world, not just a luxury. So from that point of view, I'm very very bullish. So that's my sort of 2 cents on that one.
So walk through me every day, like a typical day that you would go through. Like, I mean, running multi-business is a big challenge. What's a typical day? Because a lot of people like to know what's a typical day somebody does what they do.
I love that one, actually. But by the way, we have a great team, great co-founders, great partners everywhere around the world. So I think just let's credit where credit's due, basically. I think on that one. So yeah, obviously, I run the company, manage the people, the projects, etc. Yeah. Probably my most interesting bit is getting involved early on with potential customers, essentially, because everyone's unique, and I mean this. I like this, Brian. They all have their views. They all, that's fine. We're not here to argue. Crypto,
no,
not crypto. That's not our business.
Yeah.
But they all got their own sort of frameworks and references, and when we start customizing, we have a many unique bespoke solutions out there. That's very exciting. I think that's probably my most interesting bit. And you learn so much from the customers, Brian. I think,
Yeah,
oh my God, Jeremy is amazing. Like, well, just hang around with the right people like yourself, Brian. So I think what's the secret to life? It's hanging around with the right people, Brian. I think that's my
got it,
sort of
got it,
two
got it.
cents.
So,
So,
um,
yeah.
back to the questions of crypto. Let's say, like, I'm gonna head over. Let's say if I want, like, could
Mm,
you specialize in areas of like setting up crypto funds
mm.
for the Channel Islands or Isle of Man at all, or
We
that? Yeah,
get
yeah.
involved.
And
We
what?
get involved. We provide the tech of the infrastructure. The legalities is the customer takes care of that, right? So
Okay,
we cannot touch the client money. That just not we're not regulated for that. UK example, I said we got one in the UK which is challenging regulatory wise, but
yeah.
UK wise, I think Gibraltar would probably be the answer
Yeah,
actually
I
if you want
remember
to
you
do it
saying
all.
that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like,
do it
because
all
I've,
the
I've
way.
I've been following a lot of
Yeah,
what's going on with Isle of Man, and they seem to be
mm,
more light touch when it comes to crypto. I mean, compared to like Jersey, Guernsey, Gibraltar,
mm,
is that? Do you know if that's the case that you could say for Isle of Man that it would be more light
yeah.
touch, or is Gibraltar more light touch? Would you say like less
Interesting.
regulatory?
Well, I mean, it's not less. You need the right rhetoric. I
Yeah,
no
wrong
experience with
word.
Isle of Man. So, yeah, I mean,
Okay,
it might be Isle of Man, but Gibraltar, generally speaking, it's been quite welcoming, quite good for us. Jersey, also, by the way,
yeah,
I think from what I've heard actually. And by the way, for our listeners, this is old Jersey. This is not New Jersey. I just want to
right.
get this right. This is Jersey, Channel Island, UK, right? So just
Right,
making
right.
that up.
Okay. Uh, um, so
Yeah.
for yourself, like, are you an
Mm.
active trader as well? Like, are you an active trader and watch
Sometimes.
some? Yeah, I can relate.
I wish I had more time actually. So I like my
Yeah,
occasional crypto trade. Before this, by the way, I was day trading. So I was day
right.
trading for a family office. So I'm quite like it. But unfortunately, I've got a company to run, and automation it's mine for you, Brian, and maybe yours. But
No, I
automation is probably the you like automation, don't you? Yes.
I love automation, but there's a
Yeah.
couple of things I could get into on that. Is like in
Yeah.
my case, like I do have right now all my investments professionally managed because like
Interesting. Okay.
if you get to the borderline of retiring and you manage your own money and something blows up
Mm.
like what's happened like in the last 3 months, let's say, like
Yeah.
people could lose 20-30% of their portfolio if they don't see it coming, and it just
Yeah.
keeps declining. And that's why I'd rather have be in a situation where it's professionally managed, and you know what I mean. It's just for me, it's just smarter to do that, and then you take a bulk
Mm.
of it, actively trade it, and then if you get really really good at it, then you put it in the market. So that's how I
Interesting.
look, and you can't do that. That's a full time job in itself, as you just
Oh yeah,
described.
it is actually. But thank you, Brian. It's just reinforcing that point about everyone is extremely unique, a very unique approach,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
everyone's right. It has to work for you. That's me sort of
Yeah,
back to my day trading. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. It's full
yeah,
stop. And I
that's
think
right.
just keep
That's
that in
right. Yeah, I
mind.
mean
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons. Like I could say I did really well in crypto when Bitcoin went from 17K to over was it 68K in
yeah,
that very short period of time. I mean that's when you get into crypto, and then you dibble dabble in retail forex, you dibble dabble in equity ETF, and there's just so much now. So I thought I knew the economy was
yeah,
going to get bad, so that's why I focus on what I focus on now, which is futures and options, right? And there's a lot of uncorrelated assets there too, as well. So this is what I like.
yeah.
So, anyways, back
Brilliant.
to questions. So it
Go,
sounds
go.
like you kind of have some technical background. Like, have you gotten into any form of software development or anything technical at all? Like you know what I'm asking, right?
Everything, everything actually. So I used to be, long time ago, Brian. I was a sort of post-grad PhD academic, so that was a long
Right.
time. Engineering physics, so lots of coding. So yeah, I do. But as I said, my technical team doesn't allow me to do production code, Brian. So
Yeah.
I can do scripts, I can configure the products, but I'm not allowed to do production code. So that's
Okay. Okay.
they're
So
they're,
it
they're
sounds like
big banking crowd. So yeah,
it sounds like you're more at the higher level, like executive, setting up all the stuff.
yeah.
So it's good that you got a staff, which I'm
A
just
good team actually. I'm careful with executive, Brian, because that implies I'm probably sort of drinking tea all day or whatever. Sorry,
no.
but yes,
My
insofar I
bad.
can
My
be
bad.
hands on. I try to be.
Okay.
Try to be
Okay. So,
transparent. Yeah.
like with the vision that you have right now, I guess there's two parts to this question.
Mm.
Where do you see yourself like
Mm.
3 to 5 years from now, doing what you're doing now?
more, better, faster, more coverage, basically. So I think we're in the right space. And just general trend, my views, my global macro view trends. This fragmentation, geopolitics is a bit challenging sometimes. So
Yeah.
I think there's going to be more and more opportunities. And this idea that because the worst thing you can do is make some money or inherit some money and just, dare I say, give it to a big bank or give it to a wealth manager or a private bank. It's the
Yeah.
worst thing you could do, Brian.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
I'm
know.
selling my own book here, but it's the worst thing you could do. So that's
Yeah.
why there's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
days
Because
ahead about it. So mm,
obviously people are going to ask, like, what's your view of AI? Where do you think AI will help you? Do you want to be
mm,
bigger, more scaled out? I mean,
mm.
obviously, like, how do you think AI will apply for you in the future for your operation?
Yeah. Well, obviously, big fan of AI. So we've been using AI for about, well, 9 years now.
Wow.
AI, just careful, Brian, because AI means a lot of different things to a lot of different people,
Yeah,
right?
I
So
can drill down.
I
Yeah.
think being on that one really
So
sound.
I guess like what I'm specifically can ask is like,
Mm,
I'm assuming you guys do some form of coding. Like, are you using AI to exploit in
mm.
that area? And if you're coming up with trading ideas, have you found any LLM that can help you with trading ideas to
Okay.
be able to build out strategies for what you do? Have you seen that? Have you experimented that in
Yeah,
the
think
world of
that one there.
finance?
We have a bit. We're not LLM based. We're not generative based. Actually, it's worth mentioning that. I think there's a lot of initiatives, but I mean, once again, Brian, speaking my own, talking my own book here. Um, LLM by definition, it's a language model, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm
So
from the
I
outside.
tried in the early days. It's like give me the top 10, technology stocks by market cap. It doesn't do well with numerical stuff at all, Brian. And I'm
Yeah,
sure some of your listeners will say, "Oh, you can do that." Actually, somewhat by definition, it's a language model, which is great if
yeah,
you're doing
yeah.
language stuff, marketing, press releases, coding, everything else. But if you're doing sort of, portfolio diversification and quantum strategies, it may or may not. I don't know, Brian. Any views about that? Before I sort of be a bit
Well,
more biased about it, but
I've like I have a friend that's been feeding me just we're just talking to LLMs now, like the chat
yeah,
GPTs, all that. So obviously for me as a developer, I've seen Copilot was kind of the first one, then chat GPT came out and there's a whole onslaught
yeah,
of them, the Anthropic, the Perplexity, all that. So I started dibble dabbling in it from the coding perspective and evolving into trading ideas generation. And
okay.
it was kind of limited with the US based ones, but once DeepSeek set in, it changed the game. It's
Oh,
like
interesting,
it's night
interesting.
and day
Okay,
difference. It's like, and then with the Chinese ones, there's now one from Baidu called Ernie, I believe it's called, and then there's one from
I've heard of that.
Alibaba, Quek, and
Yeah,
those are like even better than DeepSeek.
interesting,
Yeah, and
interesting.
when
Wow.
when you prompt it, what you can come out, what comes out of it,
Yes.
your mind is totally blown.
Interesting. Okay. Good. Good. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
so
Good. Okay.
I've been using it like intensely for the last 3 months or 2 months. Yeah, three
Yeah.
months. I mean, I'm not going back to the way I used to. That's all I can say. It's that much
Brilliant. Okay.
impact on
Good.
me.
Good.
So,
Good. Good.
but knowing that it just enables you to come up with trading ideas a lot faster
Good.
and to be able to generate the code a lot faster as well.
The coding I've seen regardless.
Yeah,
Absolutely agree on the coding side. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah.
That's a no-brainer.
So the other portion I had with this prior question is asking where you see yourself, about the scaling and out and asking about the AI. I mean, also, obviously, you're wanting to expand into new regions globally. Like, is that driven based upon where your potential clients from, and that's what drives where your
Absolutely.
um where you choose to regionally set up somebody?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Commercial client base, basically. I think
I see.
they always joke about, your best product roadmap is defined by your customers, right? So that's a
Yeah,
short answer.
yeah,
But at the same time, we are incredibly good at the U.S. equities and crypto, right? They are two biggest selling products, our two biggest expanding. But by the way, U.S. equities, I mean, it's a global thing, Brian. You probably know that more than I
oh
do.
yeah,
There's probably more, equal amount of U.S. equities trading in Hong Kong than there is in Europe, right? So it's
yeah,
a staggering
yeah,
number, right? So
yeah, yeah. I know that
yeah,
everything's driven and impacted by where the
mm,
U.S. markets go each and every day.
yeah,
Like you see, gold goes up and gold goes down, built around, based around that. And there's so much volatility now in the equity space and specifically in the crypto space. are you finding a lot of your potential clientele are like saying, I want to set up a crypto hedge
Mm.
fund, but I find it's too volatile, therefore there's no predictability, and therefore I'm going to move into this. Have you had
Well, I
discussions
mean,
like that?
it's moving into. I mean, you're doing our sales pitch, Brian. You don't need to do that, but one, not yet public. One in Switzerland, actually. They want to allocate a certain proportion of their AUM to a quant strategy, which is going to be up at us essentially. But we all know, Brian. I mean, your listeners too, I'm sure. Volatility is good.
Yeah, it
If
is.
you've got the right tools, options
That's
or
right. That's the key.
forecasting and allocating.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
as long as you've got the right software, the right mathematics, I mean, volatility is good. I mean, your worst thing is just a flat thing, isn't it? If it doesn't move,
That's
you can't
true.
monetize
Yeah.
it. Right?
Yeah. Well,
Can't do
from
that.
my
So
experience, it
yeah,
depends upon how you look at the
yeah,
markets because there's some people that are only want to trend follow. There's only people that want to
yeah.
do the mean reverting, and the
Mm.
mean reverting, if you're on a under 5 minute time frame only, oh, there's tons of opportunity in it. Tons.
That's a challenge. That's probably a bit more your thing, actually. So this sort of
Well,
lower intraday time frames. Yeah.
yes and no, but
Um,
the way the
mm,
markets are right now, they're just everything comes down to predictability. Because if you asked
mm.
me 5 days ago or a week ago, with the tariffs, like remember, I'm in Canada, so
Ah, gosh, yes, yes, yeah,
we're
yeah,
very impacted by it. So if
yeah,
it
yeah.
settles down, we know that maybe the markets might start to actually bottom out and may go back up. And then a
Mm.
week later, it said, well, no, we're going to put on these tariffs. And then boom, that trading idea, that theme is thrown out because now we're back on with the tariffs. So it's just that
I would.
unpredictability is hard.
It's unpredictability, but once again, sales pitch. Start using forecasting tools.
Yeah.
Trying to take a fundamental view on short time frames is just wrong. It is
Yeah.
inherently wrong, basically. So I
Yeah.
think that's my sort of 2 cents on that one. So trying to combine and I mean, listen, we're amongst experts here, but that was something else that sort of shocked me throughout the years, the decades, actually. Um, you can have some very good positive news. You can have favorable economic conditions. Everything can be good. Does not mean the price is going to go up, Brian.
Yeah. I was just going to get into
Because
that.
it's a combination of what's already priced in and how people are going to respond. And it's
Yeah.
likewise with negative news. I've seen it, individual stocks, bad negative news, but it wasn't as bad as they thought. So price can still go up. So just careful with that sort of, macro
Yeah.
sentiment policy. It's a dangerous game, especially on shorter time scales, right? So just
Yeah.
cautioning people there.
I totally agree because that depends
Yeah,
upon the mandate of what the like your let's say you're a potential customer would lay out. We only focus on retail forex. We only focus on U.S. equity. So totally. But my question is, do you find a lot of your own customers? Because there's a lot of back and forth I have. Is like, are they more fundamental based or are they more technical analysis based?
neither. Um, depending actually. If they're fundamental based, it's usually quite an easy sales pitch because fundamentals been very challenging, Brian, very, very challenging.
Yeah.
We have a few sort of technical things, combination, I would say. I think we're not here to sort of put everybody in a box,
No,
basically.
of
But
course not. Of course not.
if they only use one very small specific strategy and they don't like algorithms, then well, we're not for them. That's fine. Okay,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
we can't do
So
everybody,
so
basically.
you offer obviously multi strategies,
Yeah.
multi platform, I guess, because you said infrastructure. That can mean a lot. So is that part of your solution is that you provide the software and the trading strategies
Absolutely.
as well as part of your solution?
So trading strategies, risk position sizes, and portfolio construction. The entire, sometimes they
Got
call
it.
it hedge fund in a box, but I don't really like that term. But yeah, it is a
No,
sort
I
of
understand. I
a hedge
understand.
fund in a box, actually, based on what they want, really. So and then
Okay.
just to be clear, executions on their end,
Yeah.
integration with the brokers on their end, right? We don't get involved with that. I
Okay.
think
Well, yeah.
that's their business, actually. So
So,
pretty
is it
clear.
okay to ask like what typical type of platforms? Because I'm just thinking of what people are going to be wanting to know. Like, what's a
Yes.
typical trading platform that you would use or promote among your clientele?
Yeah.
Is there one particular or any particular set of platforms you like?
Probably the one we're all familiar with. I mean, platform broker, right? So I mean, I think at least half of them, three-quarters are using interactive broker.
That's a broker.
IDKR. So yeah, it's there, it's out there. I guess it's the IBM. Nobody got fired for buying IBM, so that's that one. It does copy trading. You can do SMAs, surface. Yeah, it does a lot of things. it's quite international too, actually. So even the Hong Kong guys use
So
interactive brokers.
are
Actually,
you using a
yeah.
platform to integrate with interactive brokers, or are you coming up with
So
your own
our stuff,
coding?
so our stuff would integrate with their setup, and they
Got
would
it.
go to
Okay.
interactive brokers.
Got
So
it.
that's the
So you have
typical go.
you have your own set of software. It sounds like that you deploy, and then that would be the front end, and then the back end. They would your software connect, as you said, connects into the interactive brokers, and then go from there. Got it. Got it. Okay.
Give or take. Yeah.
Have you seen the new additions that Interactive Brokers has added with? I think they added now Solana, XRP, and another coin yesterday.
But they're not always great for crypto. So sometimes,
Yeah,
customers need to
yeah,
go back to Coinbase, right? That's the other sort of,
yeah.
whatever maybe the serious one actually. I think IB, they tend to keep up, right? I think that's on that one. Solana, XRP, yeah, it's good actually that they're adding more and more instruments. And then, on that segue, I think people love or hate it, but BlackRock with their IBIT with a massive. I mean,
Yes,
I think
sir.
50 billion, 60 billion AUM now, Brian. What's the AUM?
I did check. I think it's 19. No, 11. I thought it was up 19, but they're 11 trillion.
Oh, oh, no, okay, yeah,
Yeah, maybe
just the
12
crypto
trillion.
part. Okay, 12 in total, but I think the crypto thing is okay.
Yeah,
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 number one is there, number one in terms of AUM global, I think, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. And I
BlackRock,
think
yeah.
Vanguard's not far behind, like at 10 million, or
Number
sorry,
two,
10 trillion. Yeah,
trillion. Yeah.
I heard that they went up to 19 trillion, but I did check, and what I got was 11. So, yeah, they do, as you
Good
said, they do
numbers.
have a huge impact on basically Bitcoin. So, um, for me, I like uncorrelated, especially now because everything, including
Mhm.
Bitcoin, is so tightly integrated with the performance of where things like Nasdaq and S&P go. So you want to kind of move off that, and the whole crypto space moves with crypto with Bitcoin as well.
It
So
does.
that's the
It's all
challenge.
it moves with Nasdaq, doesn't it? It's a tech play, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's more
yeah,
a tech
yeah,
play. Yeah.
yeah. Have you had people interested in things like currencies as well, like from a futures and options perspective as
Not
well?
much.
Not
Probably
much.
because we're not very good at it, basically, right?
Got it. Okay.
We've done the Aussie dollar, so some of the commodity currencies, including including the Canadian ones, so the
Got it.
commodity
Got it.
related currencies.
Got it. Yeah, I'm
And
just asking because
yeah.
like if somebody like me came into the UK and I want to start up my own little, I don't know. Well, I know I'm in Ontario, Canada. I don't have to, and I think I mentioned this before. I have to register for copy trading. Like
Strange, isn't it? Yeah,
I
yeah,
think like
strange.
it's because there's so much, we'll call it funny business going on when it comes to copy trading. I'll just leave it at that.
Mm,
So they're trying to protect their own citizens in Ontario, Canada. So there's no regulation like
mm.
that in the UK where if I come in as an outfit for copy trading, would I need to register with a government or the regulator to do that? That you know of?
I I don't think to take some professional advice, Brian. Please
Okay, okay,
don't
we'll leave it at that then. Sure, I
my
don't want to put you on
understanding
the
is
spot.
no, but please get
Okay,
the professionals'
okay.
advice.
I think I've
But
kind of gone through all of the questions
yeah.
I've come up with. So is there anything you want to add to to this conversation? Like, um,
Nothing specific, Brian. I think it's important. Keep talking, keep connecting. I'm running a few WhatsApp groups if there's interest on that one.
yeah,
Crypto AI groups and everything else. I like that, and I think more of a general statement that I think the communication and global connectivity is so
yeah,
important these days.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
I have this one theory that humanity's at danger because of silos, Brian. It's people not talking to each other, not
Yeah,
sitting
no,
around the same round table.
yeah,
That's the problem, basically.
yeah.
Everything else we can solve.
I
But
totally agree.
yeah,
Like one thing I like about your group, there seems to be a
yeah.
lot of professionals in there, like from the industry as well. To like from a lot of things from the UK perspective, I'm learning about all the different awards. Congratulations for getting your not
Oh,
that's
thank
a
you, thank you.
nomination for
Yeah,
you. I think that's a huge achievement from some of the names that I saw. Like we're talking big firms recognized.
yeah.
Yeah, so you're doing something right, obviously. Um,
We like to believe so, Brian. Great. Once
well,
again, great team. Give credit to the team here, right?
yeah,
I'm just
like I said, I'm sitting
the
from the
front. Yeah.
outside. I'm just getting reacquainted by watching more of the British podcasts and stuff instead of the you. We get a lot of the North Americans, so I know that well. But I'm more interested
Yes.
now. I'm more interested in the British and the what comes out of those is like people may not know this, but it seems so vastly different from the U.S. based ones and the Canadian ones.
Interesting.
It's very
Interesting.
different, and it's just I don't know. I just like it a lot. So I'm getting reacquainted with the way the British communicating among each
Well
other
done.
is. That's great.
There's a certain. Thank you for that. I think there's something about the UK. Actually, I know we're sort of getting a bit broad
I know
topic.
we're going all
I'm
over.
actually quite bullish about the UK. Actually, I'm very
Yeah,
optimistic. Not just because I live here and everything else, but I think just I would say sort of independent and critical thinking. Actually, I think that's one of my other mantras, basically. So can
yeah,
you stand on your feet? Can you make decisions? Can you think independently?
totally,
That I think I would
totally,
find that very
totally.
important. So,
Yeah, I'm in the
mm,
same boat. Like what I've seen,
mm,
like I think I told you I did a 2 week tour last year in the UK. What I
mm.
saw, I was just blown away on certain places. I mean, I know London, obviously is a big, big
Mm.
town. I mean, it's the biggest town, one of the biggest for us in the West. And I
Yeah.
mean, like all you hear, oh, London, this. No, man, I just, what I saw, I really found the excitement. It's like New York, different, but it's the same buzz, especially
Different, but yeah,
in the
different,
finance
but
world.
yeah,
And that's what I
yeah.
like. Because here in Canada, we're a lot more conservative. So the
Different, I
entrepreneurial
guess. Cultural
is
difference.
there,
Yeah.
but it's just not like the US or the UK where it's just really pro entrepreneurial, and that's what I love about it. So we're kind of entrepreneur, but not in the same level as the States or the UK.
Different, but then again, I think West Coast Canada. I think it's different again, isn't it, Brian? It depends. I guess it's a massive country, obviously. Canada.
Second
It's bigger
biggest,
than
yeah.
whatever.
I'm just
Is
speaking like
yeah.
I'm just speaking comparatively between, let's say, Toronto, New York, and London. Like I'm Toronto,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
know
Fine.
Toronto.
Okay. That's probably a fair.
That's where I'm coming from. Yeah, so hopefully I'll be over there really soon, and
Yes. Yes. Be in
I'll
touch.
reach out.
We have to do
Yeah,
another one, Brian. Once you're over, I think we have to do a follow up then.
absolutely, absolutely. So
Yeah.
I'll let you know. Well, actually, let me just stop here.
Okay.
Um,